raced a half marathon all out when I probably shouldn't have. And I'm wearing a button-up shirt. Don't see that too often, do ya? Had to film a video for my other channel that was more fancy. So here I am, double dipping. It all started with Tony from BPN asking me to race.
Do you want to race the Austin half?
And then Scotty telling me I had to race it all out.
Are you going to send it?
Which I couldn't say no to. Problem was, I just came off of near death with the flu. Cut a clip of me in hospital. You tell me how good I looked. But me being me, major FOMO, so hard for me to just show up to a race and not, PR or ER. So in the weeks leading up, I was doing fartlek work on the treadmill with, fast sections being 5 flat mile pace. Even ended a session after like 12 or 14 reps with a full 5-minute flat mile. I was feeling saucy, feeling ready to send, ready to freaking send it, ready to send. I feel like I always reference that. Send it meme. Yes, this.
I don't know, I just woke up from a little nap. It's a little dark, but you guys silly? I'm still gonna send it.
This is me, man. This is the vibe. You never seen that? So I let Tony know I'd be going, and I let Scotty know I'll be sending. Soon enough, I was headed to Austin. And honestly, I'm growing to love Austin as a city. The more and more I visit, more and more I go and visit BPN and hang out with BPN folks. It's just so fun. Obviously, you see all the running influencers live there, are always making videos there. So that environment is really fun. But also, this was a team event. So Amanda, Nico, Luke, and Fonz were all in the same Airbnb as me. So it was just incredible to be in a team environment before a race. It's something I haven't experienced since high school, really. I didn't run or do anything collegiately. So it's just fun to have that back in your life again if you're really hungry for it. So we did a lot of chilling and eating at the Airbnb, but we did eventually make it to the expo, which was super fun. Saw the Minted boys, Marcus, Sean, and Clay. I tried on Marcus's Saucony Elite 2s. Gotta say, first impression, very different than the Saucony Elite. Like, wildly different. Reminded me a lot of the Alpha Fly 3, actually. Maybe not for the reasons I don't like it, but very squishy.
Can I wear it, or is that weird? You want to put it on?
Yeah, I'd love to.
The first one have like the one material all the way, like she did.
Oh, dude, that's fantastic.
Yeah, super massive.
Whoa,
Oh, yeah, I love that. Oh, that is completely different than the Elite.
Yeah, I know. The Elite foam is way more stiff.
Dang.
Yeah.
He said it's his favorite super shoe. I think he said that on a video. So, of course, BPN's stand was insane. Shout out to Ethan for amazing art direction and the whole team for making something like that happen. And every expo making something like this happen. So cool to be a part of it. I did not count carbs. Was just trying to carb up a lot. Ton of Go bars, bagels, chewing them sport, bread, pasta at night, just loading it in but not caring about counting it. We did end up going to Goodwill to get some throwaway clothes in the morning because it was a 29-degree start. Ran a shakeout with Luke, Amanda, and Nico on the most popular trail in Austin and ran it in Alpha Fly 3s and got a rock stuck in the little pocket in the back. Like I said, would happen. But probably shouldn't run with Alpha Fly 3s on the trail. I know people will be like, why did you race with that? You said you didn't like that shoe. Well, I bought them for $300, so I want to use them. So great race to use it, not a peak race. Gonna do that. Sue me. Don't sue me. All right, let's get into the race. Early wake up, we all got in the BPN truck, and I had a big breakfast, probably too big, full bagel with peanut butter and a go bar and some G1M. So I was feeling like right before the race, wow, again, ate too much too soon, too close to the race. Really good to remember that for later in McKirdy this spring, to eat more spaced out from the race and not as much. Very, very cold. Stepping out to go to the porta potties sucked. So we got into our warm up just before the race, only with like 10 or 15 minutes left till the gun by the end of that workout. Got a mile and a half in with the Life in Stride boys and Scotty, and saw Ryan Trahan at the start, which is amazing, and got to talk to him after the race, which was super cool. My kids and I love him, YouTuber, and found Marcus. So at the expo, Marcus's coach was saying that we should hang together. It's not a peak race for me, but a peak race for Marcus. And since I ran 1:12:24 in the fall, he was going after a similar time. And so we wanted to approach the race strategically, kind of starting at 5:40s and dropping down to around 5:30s. I kind of love racing races like this all out without being peaked out. It's really awesome and really sucks at the same time, because there's just no stress and it's just a really fun environment. But there's that hope that you could maybe grab your PR when that's probably not realistic. I fooled myself into thinking I could grab a PR. This is also maybe a controversial course because it has 300 feet of loss, maybe 100 meters of loss throughout the course. That didn't mean that it wasn't hard. My quads were insanely sore after this race. So we started off exactly how we wanted to. Honestly, maybe a little bit slower than we wanted to at a 5:46 mile. Then we dropped it down to 5:38 on the second split. I felt pretty good through there, but by mile 3, Scotty was kind of taking the lead and I was behind him. We had a tailwind majority of this race, but every time we turned on the course and had that wind in our face, it did not feel good. But having it at your tail was pretty great. It didn't feel too cold most of the race. We dropped to a 5:35 by mile 3, and this is really where we really wanted to stick on 5:30s if we were going to kind of race it like I did with Hidden Gem in the fall. But we just kind of kept hitting 5:35 in that range, and I was feeling really fatigued by mile 4, which was really hard. It was a hard mental battle. But our little crew, we had Marcus and Scotty leading the way, and Marcus's friend Johnny, and we just packed up and we're trying to clip off 5:30s, but I just kept hitting my manual splits and seeing 5:34, 5:34, 5:35. I did hit a 5:29 after seeing all the BPN media and that aid station. We got this one clip that Jordan took. It was awesome. High energy, super fun. Is that feeling you get past a crowd like that and you're like, oh no, did I burn a match? And that's how I felt. I caught back up to Scotty. He had dropped us a little bit, and then it was just an absolute grind and battle, because then Scotty left us. I was still with Marcus. I think at this point I told Marcus, I think you got me today. Like, I don't think I have it. And he was like, no, stay with me. We got to mile 8, hit a 5:35, and then mile 9 was brutal. This was one of the uphills on the race, and it was, I don't know, for a quarter to half a mile up. And going down the entire time to that point, flat to down, it's a big shock to the system to have to go up then, and I really struggled getting up over that hill. I switched over to current pace on my watch and saw I was running 6 flat, and at this point Marcus was dropping me as well, so it was just a really tough mental game to just get through that. Once I got past the hill and started working down, I felt like I got some of my speed back, but still only hit a 5:39 on mile 10, a 5:44 on mile 11, and then Steven caught me at mile 12 running through UT's campus. Going into this, there was a brutal hill into the wind, then you turn left and run this whole stretch, and I could just play most of the clip for you. I was dying.
Let's send them out, Eric. Let's send it. Let's send it now. Let's send it now. Let's send them out. Come on.
So mile 12 ended up being 5:40. Into the last mile, I ran a 5:51. I didn't realize that was that slow. Oh, I guess these are manual splits, but you could see the relevant split here as well on Koros. And then just tried to empty the tank as much as I could, which really wasn't too fast. It was about a 5:13 paced all-out sprint in the last 10th of a mile for a final time of 1:13:58 official. which I'm like, it's just good. It's great. It's my second fastest half marathon time. Excited about that. That's really cool. I ran a 1:14 high at Brooklyn about a month after Boston. So it's good to know that I'm in better shape than that potentially, but I feel like that the Brooklyn course is a way harder course. It almost felt like the same effort as that one. So it feels discouraging in one sense, but I also have to remind myself that I was in the middle of a 70-mile week building mileage. So I went from 0, I could literally just check. I went from 0 miles a month ago to 54, 64, and then the week of that race was 70, almost 73. So we ran a mile and a half to start before the race, and I actually did a 5-mile cool down with Amanda and Nico after the race. So I have to be kind to myself and knowing like it's not the end of the world. You weren't peaked out for this. You weren't tapered. You weren't any of these things. Scotty had a day. He ran like 1:12:47. Marcus had a day. He ran 1:13:20 something, I think. And yeah, they raced really, really well. It was more for me a shock to my system, a hard effort, and really at the end of the day, a good workout. And this feels like to me one of the negatives of not peak racing. You might feel like you're really fit. You might feel like you do something special, but you walk away feeling almost deflated. You're like, well, this doesn't feel like a step forward, but it was never intended to be. That's the thing. I have to keep reminding myself. This wasn't intended to be a step forward in the progression of my times. And at the end of the day, this is the second fastest time I've ever run. I really just have to, Mitch said it well. He's on the BPN team. He's a 2:16 marathoner. He's like, this race means nothing. You have so much time to build up to McKirdy. And I know that's true of myself being in the fitness that I am now. Every single block, every single year, the fitness comes back faster every single time. So to know that I have over 8 weeks to get to that place, to get to peak shape, best shape of my life, I feel very confident about doing that. Intensity will increase, mileage is going to increase. And another psychological difficult thing, you know, I didn't tell Jeff I was going to race this thing until like a week out. And he's like, okay, yeah, sure. And then he gave me a down week. And I'm like, oh. So last week I ran 52 miles and it feels like, again, this huge step back. But I'm trying to absorb what I just ran because that was a very, very hard workout, very, very hard effort early in the block. And he's smart. He's a smart coach. Gave me a down week. I did that. Finally hit my first strength session. Legs are like noodles. DOMs are killing me. I'm about to go on 11 miles 2 days after, and I'm going to die. But this adaptation is what's going to change me for the better. I'm so excited to see what that's like. Tune in for the next one. It's not going to feature the down week. It's going to feature the week I'm in right now. And it's going to be another 70+ mile week with some intensity. We got 13 by 800 coming this Wednesday. Yeah, it's going to be hard. So gear up. It's going to be exciting. If you like this series, you like this video, like this breakdown, race recap, whatever, like it. Share it with a friend. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. I don't really say that all that much. I'm not great at doing YouTube sometimes, but hope you're enjoying it. Hope you're loving this series. Hope you're loving your running, and hope it's motivating you in a way that you haven't felt otherwise. And I will catch you in the next episode. McKirdy 230. This was episode 3. Episode 4 coming on deck. Later.
I don't want to talk. We don't need to catch a case. I don't want to flex, but I'm in a different space. When I walk up in the place, better know I make it shake.